What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I am back with another video. This is the rundown. I will be discussing the latest boxing news going on as we speak. First up, Anthony Yarde, the undefeated light heavyweight prospect from the UK, says the Sergey Kovalev shot is just around the corner. Yesterday, he defeated Terence Reeves inside of 5 rounds at the Royal Albert Hall in Kensington, London. That fight was aired on BT over there, BT Sport over there, and on ESPN Plus over here in America. And let's talk about Yarde. Yarde is a very athletic guy. He's 18-0 with 17 knockouts. He's very athletic, very powerful, but he's been rightfully criticized due to the lack of step up in his competition. This guy is being brought along very slowly by Frank Warren, and to the point where it's like, dude, are you scared to step up and fight somebody to truly see where you at this point in time in your career, or are you just buying your time for a title opportunity? This guy has the potential to get this title shot and get blasted out and never heard from again, because he's doing himself no favors. Frank Warren is doing himself no favors, doing his fighter no favors by not stepping him up. Terence Reeves, no disrespect to him, but he's not going to cut it. This guy is the WBO Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion. He hasn't won a domestic level title over there in the UK, and normally fighters win those titles, those domestic titles, before they get a title shot. But we know boxing politics and influence can get you on the fast track even quicker. It's all about who you know, not what you know. And he's linked with Frank Warren, who worked side by side with who? Bob Arum, Top Rank. They came to an agreement with Tyson Fury. Also, they came to an agreement to, for Frank Warren to, showcase his fighters' fights over here in America on ESPN Plus, the app. So, you got to put 2 and 2 together. You know that both he and Arum are working hand by hand together. And that is a logical fight. Yarde has turned down multiple title opportunities because he feels he's not ready. And I'm not mad at him or knocking him for turning down title opportunities when you know you're not ready. But at this point, dude, why are you turning down title opportunities if you're not going to step up your competition just to continue to fight the same guys you've been previously fighting, and then, oh, I'm all of a sudden ready for a world title opportunity against a guy in Sergey Kovalev who will fuck you up. Yes, he lost to Eleider Alvarez, got knocked out, but you see what in the rematch last month, he dominated that fight from beginning to end. You see what he did in the first fight with Andre Ward, very controversial decision, which didn't go his way. He dropped him with a jab, and that jab is like a power punch. That right hand is a killer. But let's listen to let me read what Yard had to say. I'm learning on the job. I'm making it look easy, and I'm running for a world title fight. We got offered a world title fight recently, and we turned it down because everything is about timing. Sergey Kovalev is a good fighter, and I'll be ready for him when my opportunity comes, but I'm not going to rush into it. And this is what Frank Warren had to say. I thought he was excellent. He had that disappointment in the stage last time out, but he needed that win. He can take shots to land his and eventually broke his opponent down. He's #1 with the WBO at the moment, and I believe they will be announcing something soon about him maybe fighting Kovalev sooner rather than later. There it is. He's ranked #1 in the WBO light heavyweight rankings. And now they're talking about him fighting Kovalev, and honestly, it's bad. It's bad. Now, if Kovalev would have beat Eleider Alvarez, but not as impressively as he did, if it was a close, maybe controversial decision or just a close decision where he just eked it out, then I say, maybe he's catching Kovalev at the right time. But Kovalev has a new trainer in Buddy McGirt who got him to be calm, cool, and collected in there and composed, which indeed turned out to be very successful for Kovalev. Kovalev is a guy who can box, he can punch, and when he's in the rhythm, it is hard to get him out of it. You have to be a special fighter. Example, Andre Ward, to do so. You have to be resilient, you have to be rugged, you have to be determined. None of those things have been proven by Anthony Yarde. He's faced no, type of, situation where he's had to overcome being severely hurt, being dropped, being outboxed, where he had to come back and display a skill set that we don't know to be proven on an elite level. We know he can punch. We know he has muscles. We know he has braids. We know, he's very strong. But we don't know about that punch resistance. We don't know about that mental stamina, that physical stamina. He was breathing hard in the fight against Terence Reeves. Reeves landed some nice punches on him. And he an orthodox fighter, just like Kovalev, and he landed a jab right hand. Imagine if Kovalev lands that jab right hand on Yarde. He gonna get his ass knocked the hell out. And that's just simple as that. That's just the honest to God truth. He's not ready for Sergey Kovalev. He has done nothing to earn a title shot. He's 18-0 with 17 knockouts. Against who? Against who? And you expect people to just, yeah, man, he ready. He's not ready for Sergey Kovalev. He's not ready for Dmitry Bivol. He's not ready for Alexander Gavazic. He's not ready for Artur Beterbiev. He's not ready for those guys. He hasn't even fought, the Joe Smith Jr.'s. He didn't fight a Funfara. He didn't fight anybody. He hadn't fought any of those guys. Thomas Williams Jr. He hadn't fought Tommy Karpensi. Nobody. Caleb Johnson, nobody. And yeah, you expect him to go in there and fight and beat Sergey Kovalev. I'm not saying it's impossible because Kovalev is clearly not the fighter he once was. But come on now, pump the brakes. Let this man, get his shit together and prove himself before you just throw him in there and say, you know what? Go ahead and swim with the Sharks and see if you make it out. And if that's the case, then shit, Frank Warren, they're gonna be very disappointed when they allow him to step up. Next up, Felix Verdejo takes in Bob Arum's warning. He's looking to prove himself April 20th. We know Felix Verdejo is a former 2012 Olympic standout from Puerto Rico. He came out of the amateur ranks with high praise and high expectations of being the next one out of Puerto Rico, joining the list of, Tito Trinidad, Miguel Cotto, just to name a few. Wilfred Benitez, shit. But he's been quite the disappointment. He got stopped last year in the final round of a fight that shouldn't even got to that point. But he got to this point. He finds himself in this situation because he doesn't take his career seriously. He hadn't been taking his career seriously. Rumors was going around. He chasing women. He riding bikes. You know what I'm saying? He doing everything everything except studying film. In the gym, shadow boxing, applying himself to improve his craft, become a better, more complete fighter. And instead, he out here doing shit that motherfuckers that don't got a lot at stake would be doing. Partying, drinking, probably smoking, popping pills, and fucking women. You know what I'm saying? And when you got so much skill and talent and you throw it away because you don't want to be committed, dedicated, and focused to whatever it is that you are gifted in, you're only doing yourself a disservice. Bob Arum is not going to fucking keep playing around with you. You took one L. All right. Cool. But he gave you a lot of money. He made a huge investment in you 7 years ago. And he wants to start seeing, returns on that investment. You got Teofimo Lopez on the rise. You becoming an afterthought, Felix Verdejo. And I'm not going to give up on him yet. The guy is skillful. He's tall, he's athletic, he has good skill set. He's not the perfect fighter, but who is? He has some flaws that's been exposed, but he has a new trainer, to go along with Ricky Marquez, excuse me, who has been his trainer. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to have to show and prove. He's fighting Bryan Vásquez. Bryan Vásquez is the guy he's fighting for that WBA gold title. On the undercard, Amir Khan versus Terence Crawford. That's taking place next month, April 20th. And if he loses this fight, it's probably going to be his last time with Top Rank. Bob Arum has already went on record saying that. And, you know, the message has been received by Verdejo, who's currently training, who's currently getting prepared to go in there and try to, you know, fulfill his destiny, try to continue on that road of being a champion. You know, Vásquez is 37-3 with 29 knockouts. He was the interim World Boxing Association champion at 130 pounds. Felix Verdejo is a gifted fighter. He has it all physically. Mentally is where he's lacking. If those mental issues pop back up where he can't stay focused, he can't use his skill set to dictate the pace, to offset anything that Vásquez brings to him, it's going to be a long night, and he's going to go down as one of the biggest busts in boxing in recent memory, man. You know, it all started, you know, last year. You know, he bounced back. He did beat Yarde-Sergey Kovalev by knockout. And he's going to be fighting a smaller guy in Vásquez. So we shall see how it shakes out for Verdejo, who is ultra skilled, but so far in his career, you know, very, very, very undedicated, undisciplined, and unfocused. Next up, Shawn Porter, who defends his WBC welterweight title tonight against Yarde-Sergey, says that Spence, Pacquiao, or Thurman are the goals for his next fight. And it all sounds good when these guys say this. It gets the fans pumped up. Oh man, you hear what he said? He called out, you know, Errol Spence. You know, he said he wants a rematch with Keith Thurman. Oh, Manny Pacquiao, Pacquiao, the A Division world champion, future Hall of Famer. Oh man, these fights got to happen. We about to get him. I'm telling you, he wasn't ducking all along. But in reality, that shit don't mean nothing. These fighters have been coached up on what to say and when to say it. He's trying to get people excited for his fight against Ugas tonight. You know, we know he could have been fought Errol Spence Jr. He could have been fought him. Because according to Errol Spence Jr., if it wasn't for Mikey Garcia calling him out, he don't know who he'd be fighting or if he'd be fighting right now. And that is a damn shame. You had to have a guy from 135 call you out just for you to have a fight. Which says something about Spence as well, you know. But Spence has called out Porter, has continuously called out Thurman for fights. They're all under the PBC brand. And none of these fights have happened between Spence, Porter, Spence, Thurman. Thurman and Porter have fought. Thurman is aiming for Porter again in a rematch to win his WBC title back that he had to vacate due to him being injured so much. Porter wants to beat Thurman. He wants to avenge a loss. I felt he won that fight, but he wants to, you know, prove that he's the better fighter against Keith Thurman. But none of these guys are really eager to fight Spence, in my opinion. I'm not going to call these guys duckers. I'm not going to call these guys scared or none of that, because they're fighters. They put those gloves on, something I've never done, and they take shots in the head for a living. You know, this is a combat sport and very brutal. But let me read what Porter had to say. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence Jr., or Manny Pacquiao. Those are all the fights that people want to see. If this fight goes the way we want it to go, those guys are the goal for the next fight. So, there it is. Shawn Porter says he wants Errol Spence Jr., Manny Pacquiao, or Keith Thurman. Next, those are the goals. But will those actions lead to those fights? Assuming he gets past Yarde-Sergey, which isn't a guarantee. Ugas is a good fighter, athletic. He has a 2-inch height advantage. He's not as experienced in big fights as Porter is. He's not accustomed to a physicality type fighter who's well conditioned, who comes to fight all 3 minutes of each round like Porter does. But he can handle himself well. He has that Cuban background. He's naturally gifted, naturally skilled, has good fundamentals, and it should be a good fight tonight. But that is it for the latest episode of The Rundown. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you enjoy the content throughout the channel, please hit that subscribe button and drop those comments in the comment sections down below. Also, turn on your notifications so you won't miss getting notified every time I upload content. Shout out to the movement and everybody that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Make sure you go like Colossal Boxing Talk, the Facebook page. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Colossal_boxing_talk and on Twitter at Colossal Sports, I think. Probably Colossal Boxing Talk. Whatever it is, man. Check all those social media platforms. Until next time, I am out. Peace.